you know, I thought I was going to get some scars on Broadway as I walked through here. There were some jams playing, but Jaron is in control. I'm going to have to give out his Hotmail account soon because if you like this kind of music, it may. Do you remember this? I mean, what was this? What was this? I mean, what was this, 91? I know what it is. 91, 92. I remember the video with the girl and the guy in the barn and the oats and the hate. This is beyond awful, and I want to apologize to all the listeners right now and get on to a more serious topic. I wanted to hit up a little video. You may have heard of it. John Elway, quarterback extraordinaire, formerly of the most losing Super Bowl team in the world, the Broncos, until they took it home a couple of times. But there were many jokes out there, much like the Bills, for a time period until John Elway pulled it together. And what did he do? Did he do back-to-back Super Bowls? He did, didn't he? He did it big eventually. Yeah, well, I still remember the 49 to 7 one where they gave it was against the Redskins. Yeah, no, the Redskins one where they gave the MVP to, I think his name was Doug Williams, the quarterback. Yeah, I'll never forget that. And now he's here to tell you terrorism is everywhere. When you watch this video and we're about to play it, I mean, everyone's a terrorist. Are you on a cell phone? Are you taking pictures? Report it now. And they're like, there's this woman walking over to a police officer and she's telling him what's up and he's immediately on the phone. And remember, New York just recently opened up their $24 million DHS spy center, Tones of London, if you will. In London, there's one camera for every 14 people. They are recorded more than the Chinese, okay? There are over 4.2 million CCTV cameras there. Okay, 4.2 million. They're going to double that within the next 10 years, more than double it. They say they want 8.6 million of them. And they've now started the Crime Fighting League. We're the Crime Fighting League, where people will be joining the Crime Fighting League to watch random CCTV camera feeds in their home to report suspicious activity and law-breaking criminals for cash prizes, £1,000, which is roughly $1,400 to $1,500 to turn in your neighbor. Oh, by the way, there are CCTV cameras in some people's homes now. The Sinden families, the worst of the worst, they've got CCTV cameras in their homes now. And this grid I was talking about, this new DHS facility, ties into this story right here. This is at NewYorkDailyNews.com. NYPD tracking cell phone owners, but foes aren't sure practice is legal. You think it might be illegal? Huh. The NYPD is amassing a database of cell phone users, instructing cops to log serial numbers from suspects' phones in hopes of connecting them to past or future crimes. In the era of disposable anonymous cell phones, the file could be treasure trove for detectives investigating drug rings and other criminal enterprises, police said. It's used to help build cases, one source said, of the new initiative. It's not really a new initiative. Again, Hepting versus AT&T brought to light that AT&T and all the other major telecommunication companies had a secret room where they were funneling all the information that you use on the internet and on your cell phone into a logged hard drive database. That's not Jason Bermas. That's the two lawsuits that came out and the reporting done on MSNBC and PBS. It doesn't replace the human element like debriefing prisoners, but it's also another tool to use, and we didn't have it in the past. A recent internal memo says when the cops make an arrest, they should remove the suspect's cell phone battery to avoid leakage, then jot down the International Mobile Equipment Identity Number. You see, when the cell phone battery is in, whether you have your phone on or off, they can listen to everything you're saying. You don't have to be making a call. It's like a walkie-talkie that's always on. But if you pull the battery out, they can't do that. Same with the GPS. The GPS, of course, works all the time, whether the phone is on or off, whether you are on it or not, unless you pull out the battery. It's just unbelievable. Listen, I want to jump to this video because, they always like to use celebritards as, and sports figures to promote their agenda. And I like John Elway. John Elway played baseball for the Oneonta Yankees back in the day when the Yankees were the old school minor league baseball team there. And, Oneonta, close to my heart. That's where I'm going to this weekend. He has quite a history there. I like John Elway, but John, and what does he invoke? September 11th changed everything forever. And he fearmongers big time in the intro of this video. So without further ado, let's hit it. The 8 things to suspect with terrorism.
As I stand here inside the Cells exhibit, anyone, anytime, anywhere, understanding the threat of terrorism, I'm reminded of the morning of September 11th, 2001. I remember turning on the television and saying, how can this possibly be happening in the United States of America? Well, it's something that we're going to have to deal with the rest of our lives. The horrific events of September 11th and the Oklahoma City bombing have made it clear that terrorism is not only a very real threat abroad, but also right here at home. Anyone can become a victim of terrorism, anytime, anywhere.
All right, let's stop it right there. Let's just stop it right there. Okay? Anytime, anyone, anywhere, you are the terrorist. What happened on September 11th, we're just going to have to live with the rest of our lives. The rest of our lives. The rest of our lives. Terrorism, terrorism, terrorism. Sound a little bizarre to you? The rest of our lives. How could this be happening in America? Anyone, anytime, anywhere. That's odd, because the mainstream media blamed a bunch of Muslims. Wait, did you just bring up Oklahoma City? See, I read the headlines in the news stories about how they finally released the police tapes and the CCTV camera footage. Remember, the CCTV cameras are there to solve crimes. Meanwhile, in the UK, they solve 1 in 1,000 crimes. What are they there for? 1 in 1,000 crimes. They're there to track, trace, and database you and put you into the system. That's what they're really there for. Anyway, the CCTV camera footage from OKC finally comes out 14 years later, and then magically, as if Mickey Mouse from Fantasia waved his magic wand, or digga-digga-digga-doo, it cuts out right before the bombing, and it comes in right after the bombing. All the footage that you'd want to see, about John Doe number 2 and the secondary explosions, all that, not caught on tape on all the cameras. They all magically were getting their tapes changed or malfunctioned at that magical moment of Mickey Mouse and Fantasia. Woo! All right, let's keep playing John Elway fear-mongering to the American people.
Each of us has a responsibility to protect our community, and we can do so by recognizing the signs of terrorism and taking proper action to stop it.
Experts agree that there are 8 signs of terrorism we should watch out for.
Let's stop
Surveillance,
it. Let's stop it. We're going to bring it back to the surveillance elicitation. Experts agree. Who are these experts? And what are they agreeing on? The 8 signs of terrorism? Because we have so many terrorists running around in this country. Wait a minute, that's right. We haven't been struck since 9/11. Oh, that's right. 9/11 was an international intelligence agency job. That's right. On 9/11, they were running drills of ramming planes into buildings. On 9/11, the doomsday planes and the continuity of government program were already in place through Global Guardian, the mass Armageddon exercise. But anytime, anyone, any place, terrorism, 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 terror, terrorism, terrorism, attack, explode, bomb, terrorism, terrorism. Bring it back to the experts agree on the 8 signs of terrorism by a woman. I have no idea who she is, but she looks like she needs a nice swift backhand. Let's give out a few backhands on this show. We'll backhand back, and we'll find some of our female listeners to backhand this biznitch. Let's hit it.
Taking proper action to stop it.
Experts agree that there are 8 signs of terrorism we should watch out for. Surveillance, elicitation, tests of security, funding, acquiring supplies, impersonation, rehearsal, and deployment.
When you witness any suspicious activities, you should report them to the Colorado Information Analysis Center, the CIAC, and for imminent threats, call 911.
Surveillance. While planning, terrorists often survey a potential target to determine its strengths and weaknesses.
Let's stop it right now.
This may include...
I just want to point out to people that aren't watching on the PrisonPlanet.tv, and this is why you really need a PrisonPlanet.tv membership, all the terrorists are white. Every single one of them is a white guy or a white chick, a middle-aged guy, somebody in their 30s, Meanwhile, again, the people that they blamed for 9/11 were all Muslims in their 20s or early 30s. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. I wonder if they're... Wait a minute, that's right. Those MIAC reports did target white people. Huh. And remember, it's about fighting crime and terror. Fighting crime and terror. That's what the Crime Fighting League in the UK is going to do, and you can be a member. You can be a member of the Crime Fighting League. Woo-wee! I should do a British accent for that. You could be a member of the Crime Fighting League. It's more of a bad Irish right there, I think. Yeah, who's just giving me that was just terrible radio right there. Look, and I agree, it wasn't good radio. But I mean, what's worse are these programs where you're going to watch CCTV camera footage in your home, and you're going to get cash rewards and prizes for turning in your neighbors. You think that somebody over there is going to be working extra hard for that $1,500?